Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first episode of a new series for the channel titled Monumenta Victory. Not very original, but someone suggested it. So welcome to Monumenta. Monumenta is the project I've alluded to multiple times that I've been working on for a little over a year at this point now. The MMO CTM, or CTM styled MMO Minecraft server. So we officially, as of today, June 4th, we've officially gone ahead and started the closed beta. We actually have a ridiculous amount of people online right now. We have 59 people. There is a little bit of lag, but we have a few ideas of some reasons, but it's actually running a lot smoother than I anticipated. I've gone ahead and gone through the initial tutorial. I did the initial quest stuff just to get the basic items, picked my class. So we'll be playing around with a few different classes as we play on the server. So just to give you all an idea for haven't started on the server yet. So we have Mage. This is what I chose to play around with first. Like I said, we'll probably switch classes every so often. Warrior, Cleric, Rogue, Alchemist, Scout. So I decided to go with the Mage, as I mentioned, and I got my first ability, the Magma Shield. Magma Shield is a pretty cool ability that will knock back mobs in a range, kind of a radius in front of you, set them on fire, kind of like a defensive thing. It's got a little bit of a cooldown on it, but it actually does pretty good damage. Knocks back mobs, sets them on fire, so it's pretty solid overall. So what I figured we would do today is we would do a little tutorial of the kind of a little walkthrough of the capital itself. Next episode we'll probably head out into some adventures, and we'll kind of just switch it up. And you can see Magma Shield just came off cooldown. It's kind of a little longer one, but it's pretty cool. So let's go ahead and do a little bit of discussing and chatting about the capital as a whole, as it's rather big and can be confusing. Hi, Alicia. So this is the apartments. There are 200 or so apartments, I think, in there. It's a pretty cheap buy. I think it's about 10 XP levels, which actually we can go. I think we can go find out real quick from the castle. So right now we are heading into the castle. This is where quite a bit of the quest-related stuff will be happening. This is also where you can buy your plots, where you can buy your apartments, where you can create guilds. So those are guilds. These are apartments, I think. No, these are plots. Those are plots. And I think it is somewhere. Actually, you might be able to... Oh, no, where is it? I get lost in this place myself, too. So, purchase plots. This is found or join a guild. I think the apartment purchasing might just be in the apartments. So, a few points of note for the capital. While in the capital, your hunger can't go below. I think it's what it is right now. This is kind of the lowest your hunger will go, and then it'll kind of periodically tick back up. You have resistance 5, so you can't die in the capital. There we go. This is what I was looking for. So plots, 10 levels. Okay, and you get a free a plot once you get 10 level 10. Perfect. We are level 4 from the tutorial, so I probably could have spent a little more time just killing some mobs and gotten out of the tutorial with the XP I needed, but we'll be okay. So that is kind of what the capital, or the castle's all about. There is some secrets hidden in the castle, and I could say that there is a jumping puzzle entrance in the castle. Actually, I think there's one or two. There's at least 3 jumping puzzles hidden around the city, and the one that I helped work on, about probably half of it, or almost half of it, leads up to the top of the banners. And I actually have done a jumping puzzle myself. We got 32 XP bottles out of it. XP bottles are one of the currencies in Monumenta. You can get XP bottles, and then you can convert XP bottles into a larger currency that is kind of a space saver. And there's also trades that kind of take the higher currency versus the lower currency. So, for example, if I go over to this little village over here, we can trade XP bottles. So these concentrated XP bottles are worth 8 XP. And so we can trade those in. So I will quickly convert my 32 over a few concentrated XP. And then throughout the city, there are villagers and traders all over the place. We have the stables over here where you can trade for horse eggs. We have some work that I'm thinking of planning out to be able to not lose your horse. Maybe make it so that the owner of the horse is the only one that can ride it. Get leads, saddles, etc. Then we have stuff like the forge over here, where you can go ahead and buy some items. We got a whole slew of different shops all around to get different things, from potions to weapons to, see, we can buy some stone swords here. You can try some enchanted swords, axes, etc. So there's a lot to do around the city. As we have completed the tutorial line, I did one of the jumping puzzles. I'm going to save the other 2 jumping puzzles for a later episode. We also have a city guide here that you can talk to. I should probably I get a city map. I get some info books, some basic supplies if need be. The basic supplies are stuff that you can get once per life, and it's just kind of some basic stuff to use. There we go. So that is a nice little map. Gives you a general idea about the city. I do this. There we go. It doesn't show us on the map, unfortunately, but we are right. I can't point my cursor towards it. Let's see. Apartments. Okay, there's the apartments. So that is us in the center right now. Over to our left is the apartments. And then you can kind of just see the generals of kind of the places that you can visit in the capital. Another place I will go pop over to a little bit is the bazaar. We have actually kind of the more concentrated area where the villagers are going to go trade some XP for some basic leather gear. I think it's cloth gear in that case, but you can trade for some basic gear. We also have traders for foods and novelty items and such. I think there's one that will trade for fireworks. Yeah, there we go. Little fireworks, novelties. We got food traders over here, so stuff like breads and cookies and pies and cakes. We got veggie traders. We got meat traders. We got fishing related stuff. Which fishing is a valid occupation on the server. One of the big thase that we've tried to push a lot is trying to keep a true CTM feel to the project itself. So within the base restrictions, you can kind of do whatever you want. Everything outside of cities is survival. You can fish, you can build. Someone's got a plot already. They must have been farming up them XPs. What else? All the chests and the mobs have custom loot tables. Fishing has custom loot tables. But yeah. Another big thing that we tried to go for is that almost anywhere you go within some general line of sight, you should be able to find something. So we can see there's a point of interest. We can't see any here, but oh no, there's a. I don't think that's a point of interest, but that's an interesting place to go. But yeah, we're gonna cut this episode as a little short, kind of intro episode, just to give everyone an idea of kind of what the capital is all about, where you can go for stuff. Actually, let's before we do the cutoff real quick, let's head back over towards the academy. This is the building with the book, and we'll give a quick look at the academy itself and picking classes and such like that. So I ended up picking the Magma Shield, as I mentioned. I don't know, actually, I demonstrated. I think I did. Yeah, I did. I didn't demonstrate it on the mobs, but I demonstrated it. So if we head over in this direction, we can find ourselves up in the class selection area. Each of these floors has a few different rooms that you can get your abilities. You can step on these little green platforms, find out what the ability does. So something like the Frost Nova. Level 1, when you strike with a wand while you're sneaking, you unleash a Frost Nova, dealing 3 damage to all enemies in a 6-block radius and inflicting them. Each class has 6 abilities in place. 1, 2, 3, 6. I think these last 2 are blank. Nope. 7. Yeah, 7. Each class has 7 abilities, I believe. There is a couple abilities on a couple of the classes that aren't implemented yet, but in general, all the classes have almost all their abilities. So yeah, that is the capital in a nutshell. We're going to call that an episode for today. Something short and sweet, just to give you a little teaser of what's to come. We are in closed beta right now. Feel free to jump on over towards the Monumenta Discord if you're not already there. Go ahead, send in a beta invite. I believe you can find the invites in the announcements. And then once we get to the next wave of invites, we'll throw out more invites to those who didn't get in on the first wave. But that is going to do it for today, everyone. Thanks for joining, as always. And I'll catch you all next time. Bye!